Coming up on 5 Minute News. Extremist Marjorie Taylor Greene removed from Freedom Caucus. Walt Nauta pleads not guilty in Mar-a-Lago espionage case. And half of all US drinking water contains toxic chemicals. It's Friday, July 7. I'm Anthony Davis. US Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, a staunch ally of the disgraced former President Donald Trump, has been voted out of the hardline House Freedom Caucus after clashing with a fellow lawmaker. The move to expel the political extremist Greene from the roughly 3-dozen-strong hardline group came just weeks after she engaged in a heated clash on the House of Representatives floor with fellow hardliner Representative Lauren Boebert over the latter's plan to try to force a vote to impeach Democratic President Joe Biden. A vote was taken to remove Marjorie Taylor Greene from the House Freedom Caucus for some of the things she's done, Republican Representative Andy Harris said, adding that Greene's support for Speaker Kevin McCarthy may have also contributed to her ousting from the group. Harris declined to say how he voted, but called the decision to remove the Georgia Congresswoman, who is in her second 2-year term, an appropriate action. In a statement to the media on Thursday evening, Greene did not directly address her Freedom Caucus membership, but said, "In Congress, I serve Northwest Georgia first and serve no group in Washington." She added the GOP has less than 2 years to show America what a strong, unified, Republican-led Congress will do when President Trump wins the White House in 2024. This is my focus, nothing else. Trump aide Walt Nauta pleaded not guilty at a Miami federal courthouse on Thursday to charges he helped the former president hide top-secret documents that Trump took when he left the White House in 2021. Attorney Stanley Woodward entered the plea for Nauta at an arraignment lasting a few minutes. Nauta's Florida-based lawyer, Sasha Dayden, was also present. Nauta smiled at reporters but said nothing on arrival at the courthouse. Nauta, a former White House valet and now a Trump aide, faces 6 counts of conspiracy to obstruct justice, false statements, and withholding and concealing documents. Prosecutors alleged Nauta hid boxes of documents from Trump's lawyers who were searching Mar-a-Lago, Trump's Florida resort, for classified material sought by the U.S. Justice Department. Nauta is also accused of lying to investigators during a voluntary interview. Nauta made his initial appearance alongside Trump on June 13, but was not arraigned for lack of a lawyer licensed to practice in Florida. His arraignment was postponed a second time in late June for the same reason. Dayden, his Florida attorney, is a former public defender who ran unsuccessfully for the state's House of Representatives as a Republican in 2018. Trump, frontrunner for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, pleaded not guilty to 37 criminal counts for allegedly retaining national security documents without authorization and obstructing justice. Prosecutors have asked U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon to delay the trial until December 11. She had set an initial trial date of August 14. Nearly half of all U.S. tap water samples contain toxic forever chemicals, substances used in hundreds of household items, from cleaning supplies to pizza boxes, to which broad exposure can carry serious health risks, according to a new study. The U.S. Geological Survey study tested tap water samples from more than 700 residents, businesses, and drinking water treatment plants across the country for the presence of chemicals known as PFAS. At least one such synthetic chemical was detected in 45% of the samples at levels exceeding benchmarks and U.S. proposed regulations. PFAS are water-resistant, meaning they do not break down in the environment and last in human bodies for years. Developed in the 1940s with the creation of Teflon, a non-stick cooking coating, today they are used in everything from clothing to plastic products. Previous studies have measured PFAS in groundwater, reservoirs, and water treatment plants, but analysing tap water allows for a more accurate assessment of what people are drinking, said Kelly Smalling, a USGS hydrologist who led the research. Exposure to high levels of PFAS can disrupt hormones, disturb liver function, increase the risk of kidney or testicular cancer, reduce birth weight in infants, and compromise the health of pregnant women, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Tests exist for a fraction of the 12,000 known types of PFAS. The study samples, which came from public supplies and private wells between 2016 and 2021, were tested for 32 types. There was no difference in PFAS exposure between samples from private wells and the public supply, which was very surprising, Smalling said. Public water supplies are regulated by the Environmental Protection Agency, while private wells are not. In March, the EPA proposed the first-ever national drinking water standard for 6 PFAS. It would require monitoring of public water systems and disclosure when PFAS levels exceed limits. Almost $10 billion was directed to help communities reduce PFAS and other chemical contaminants as part of the Biden administration's bipartisan infrastructure law. 5-Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.